Are you ready for the mind-blowing fireside chat that will unveil CMO balancing act and examine low-risk approach versus reinventing opportunities? Without further ado, please welcome our keynote speaker, Taha Iqbal, Chief Marketing Officer at Toys R Us KSA. Taha comes with 15 years of rich experience in marketing management and technologies. He has managed dozens of successful campaigns, supported the business in many verticals, and built world-class marketing measurement systems to improve marketing strategies and business performance. Welcome, Taha.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
And to moderate this chat, we have our star interviewer, Yolande de Mello. The floor is yours. We cannot wait to hear all about this topic.
Thank you so much, Aziza. Welcome, Taha. It's so great to have you. Let's dive in. So we're here to talk about the CMO Balancing Act. A lot has changed in the last 2 years, technology-wise, also circumstance-wise, customer behavior as well. When we talk about low risk, we always tend to talk about low reward as well, right? These two things get clubbed together. So my question is it worth it? What is the argument for marketers?
When pandemic came, nobody was ready to analyze what's going to happen next. So there were plans in place that were re-looked into, and then then came the point that what is the best thing to do. Now, conventional marketing was not the question that could be taken into account. So everybody started looking into how we can engage more digitally and try to work with all what digital is available around us. Those who were not having the online presence, they actually started making their online presence available because that's the only way going forward. And those who were having some, available setups were there, but not ready like ourselves. We were not fully ready at the time when the pandemic started. We just took the leap and we went in and we started, delivering to our customers in whatever we can do in that point in time. Mm-hmm. Yes, it was not a game of where we were looking into more conversions, rather than we were trying to make consumers aware that they can still shop from Toys R Us and we are available. Yes, the times are tight, but we were able to manage them by making some collaborations with many different areas. Like instead of relying on a delivery schedule from a third party, from a 3PL, we actually signed up with the food delivery apps. They started delivering toys for us. So these are the kind of reinvent we think we did at the time when there was a need, and it worked for us.
I think brands who really went out of their way to do new things really stood out during the pandemic, especially the early days, right? Because everyone was figuring it out. Customers did sort of have that understanding that even brands are going through this for the first time. We don't have any reference points to go back on. I think we also saw budgets getting cut at the beginning of the pandemic because things were changing. And how does this low risk strategy help you deliver greater ROI, right? Because I think that's more of a priority right now.
See, greater ROI was very, industry specific, I would say. Mm-hmm. Yes, budget cuts were there because we were being more careful in spending. It's not like that we should not spend, rather spend carefully, because we were not aware that how the market will unfold and what kind of reactions or what would happen next, right? So let's say the industry where I'm sitting in, it started flourishing because people were locked at their homes. They wanted some avenue to entertain themselves. So toys was a very good thing, with families, or when you have kids at home, so you need to entertain them. So we actually got some overwhelming response to an extent that we were having stock out situations at times, that we were not getting the replenishment done on time. Mm-hmm. So what we did, we started using tactical execution on digital front, right? We came up with the idea of a surprise box, a box that will ease the pain of the parents because the kids are making them, crazy. So there was a box available at Toys R Us. come and get this box, and it was at a phenomenal price, which has got a boy and a girl box, and you can get it, and we can make them feel happy and be off your back, right? So these kind of initiatives came in. We started selling from WhatsApp. Having one-to-one conversation with the customers, which was making a huge impact because the customers were so frustrated, and when they were hearing someone talking to them on a personal level, which was making a big impact. We even did, that was me doing on my own, actually, Zoom invitation, sending out to the clients who booked the Zoom invitation, 30-minute session live from the store with an empty trolley in our hand. And we were just putting inside the trolley whatever they said, okay, yes, I want this. And then the payment link was sent to them so that they can pay. And then we were making arrangements to deliver it to them.
That's crazy. So, that is really crazy. And this is just specifically in the region, right? This is not a global Toys R Us strategy.
No, it was only in Toys R Us KSA, by the way. Everybody was adopting their own ways of doing things. So we took a couple of crazy things to do there.
That's actually really interesting, because what works for a brand specifically might not work for others, right? I just want to talk about, so digital transformation happened sort of on the move. You had to figure it out, right? There've been a lot of marketers who talk about waste, and this is in terms of your investing, but are you really investing in prioritizing the technologies with the team that comes with it? Because what is technology without the team that can then action those insights, right? Can you help me understand waste, and what can you tell, what advice can you give about this, about solving it?
It's a very good question, Yolanda. Do not take the conventional approaches right now with the consumers. The consumer behaviors have changed altogether. Those who were not buying online started buying online. Those who were buying online, they became more, I would say, serial in their online buying behaviors, right? What we have to say as an advice, try to look inside out, what the consumers are looking for from your brand, from your specific category where you are sitting in. Try to understand their changing behaviors. I was reading a study where almost 40% of the respondents said that they were first, before the pandemic, they were looking for the quality first, price second, and the brand last. This has changed to availability first, quality second, and I was actually writing it down. And then comes availability, price, and then quality, right? So imagine brand significance has gone out of the window, and they started looking into the things which is more feasible for them at that point in time. So look inside out, work with your strengths of your brands. Try not to think of selling only, work with the brand purpose. Try to revisit your purpose of the brand and go in with a different strategy where you're not just working on the price war, rather than you are trying to see what your competition is doing and what you can do differently, right? So in our condition, that there's a lot of people who entered into the toy domain, even those who are not the toy reseller, but they entered in the domain because they saw a potential. But how we can differentiate with them by creating experiences within our physical stores, let's say, and also creating online engagement on our social channels, which brings the brand forward and create that affinity with the audience. And lastly, I would say that get your balance right of your offline and online. And it is not necessarily needed that for every campaign you need an offline support or vice versa, but try to see where it's the need and where you can actually do a great digital execution which will serve the purpose for your let's say the campaign ROIs.
I think that we were talking earlier, right, about it's not just what consumers want that's changed, but it's the role, say, for example, of the physical store that has changed, right? And you have digital natives who also are looking at having physical stores. So tell us about what Toys R Us has done, how they have sort of changed the way people interact and have an experience in a store?
Right. I mean, see, Toys R Us is a playful store, so we kind of, uh, renovated couple of areas. Touch and feel was not allowed. Experiences were not. We were not allowed to do it at the beginning. Right now, they recently allowed it that you can do in-store activities and things like that. Now, we started working with the concept of slightly smaller store formats. We have a huge list of products which are available within a big store. So we said, how can we still provide the similar experience in a smaller format of the store, in the smaller size of the store, let's say. So
Similar to the
we call
global
it
experience, yes?
global experience, yeah. So let's call it, we came up with the idea, we call it the endless aisle concept, right? So at the end of the aisle, you find an interactive screen, which are basically showcasing whatever is available inside the store, yes, but also what is not available in that store. And you can actually engage with the screen and make your order. The order can be dispatched to your home, or if you want the order to be placed and collected from the store, that can also be done. So these kind of innovative ideas we came up with, which helped us in getting the ball rolling, and which helped us in getting our customers what they were looking for.
I think that's amazing. I mean, you've taken what is a restriction and reinvented it and made it an opportunity, right, for yourself.
Yeah.
And this is really the difference between, say, brands that are leading the way and brands that are then following. I wanted to ask you, so post-pandemic and everything, marketers need to reprioritize certain things, right? And that's what we're talking about here. But what about reprioritizing the MarTech stack? What would you rate as a must important, and what can we sort of pull back investment on for now, if that is so?
Everybody has their different approach towards marketing, and with availability of this, so much of digital around, and so many people approaching you on a daily basis that we have this solution, that product, and this product. I only would say that understand your business, understand your brand values, and try to come up with the experience that you would like to create for your consumers, right? If you are, let's say, an FMCG brand, or if let's take the example of toy brand. So what is it that people would like to engage with? So in our case, in our industry, having a website, a proper website with proper details and imagery and explanation is an important element. Mm-hmm. Then comes the part that how can we be at the palm of at the hands of the people all the time? So you should definitely have an app where you can keep on informing your consumers that what is new happening within the store, what are the new arrivals coming, what are the exclusivities happening, when are the meet and greets happening. So website, app, and then definitely work on your content. Work mm-hmm. with develop a right SEO strategy there, because you need to rank organically high enough so that people know that you are the right place, or you are the first should be the first preference or the top of mind whenever they're looking for anything, which basically you are the one are the leaders for that. So I would say, there are still people that does not have a very fully functional website. Make it happen. It's not something new. We should do it. Absolutely. Right. Work with having an app is an add-on which helps the business to make sure that you have it, and it should be transactional. Not just an information share, but should be transactional. So that is what I would say, and work with your social channels properly. Mm-hmm. That is where you reach out to the masses and look into the trends, the market trends, and that will help you big time in understanding that you are actually engaging with your audience at the right place, at the right time, having the right content.
Right. So that would be really specific to your brand, depending on what industry you're in, and everybody's also at a different maturity level, right? In terms of digital transformation. Perfect. That really helps as a takeaway. Now, since we're at the end of the year, I really wanted to ask you. Now, this is one of my previous panelists called it a movement. There have been a lot of changes, the third-party cookie, for example. But I think the pandemic itself has created so much change, right? In the way that we consume, in the way that brands talk about themselves, in the way that brands talk to their customers. Where do you see, let's talk 2022 and beyond, where do you see us going?
Well, this question still needs to unlock. We are still things have definitely changed. 2021, from the business standpoint, was a challenging year. It was not as we expected. 2022, however, our expectations are very positive. We are very optimistic that it will be somewhat bringing back what we were doing. So what I would suggest to everyone, try to look into your business areas where you are sitting. Try to analyze the market's condition and then plan accordingly. Now, when I say plan accordingly from a marketer standpoint, that have your calendars ready, place everything which you think are relevant for your brand, and then try to plot things which will help. From a technology standpoint, start somewhere. Just try not to get everything and anything on board. Just start somewhere. If you are into offline retailing, try to understand that why a consumer comes to you and how many times does he comes to you and what does he do when he comes to you, right? You need to be mindful about your audience and try to offer them the experience that they are looking for. Not just the experience sake, but also the availability or the product availability that you have on your hand. Understand personalization is a key. Have the right systems in place. Work with the, I'm sure the audiences must have spoken about the AI and machine learning, but the machine only learns what you feed to the machine, and then it starts giving you output. So make sure that you have the right input going in to get the right output for the business to perform better.
I love that. I love that. Start somewhere. It's a continuously changing landscape, but start somewhere and keep going. I love that. Thank you so much, Taha. It's been brilliant talking to you.
Pleasure. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you so much, Taha and Yolande, for this robust and insightful conversation. It was really great having you, Taha. Until we see you next. And with this, we come to the end of the Vibe Martech Fest. What a fantastic day we've had together. Thank you all for joining us today. I hope you've enjoyed the Power Pack sessions we've got for you and networking with your peers. And once again, I would like to thank our presenting sponsor, OneTrust, and Diamond sponsor, Sprinkler, our Platinum sponsor, SAP, our Gold sponsors, Telium, Salesforce, and Talkwalker, as well as our Silver sponsors, Meltwater and Reprise. Do visit their booths and check out the best in market solutions they have for you.